What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody this evening? So, I haven't seen you guys in a while, okay? Which some of y'all should be looking at my posts, so some of y'all should have seen me in a while, okay? Um, my day is over today, so I decided that I was feeling good enough to come on and go on, okay? Um, Tonight we just gonna talk a little bit about Sapphire and what we do here. Okay, so your YouTube classes that you guys have is to assist you in getting your certification. So I don't want y'all to give up on getting your certification. Okay. And even if you do go to a medical billing and coding school, I can't hire you with a degree. I have to hire you with a certification. You must have a certification in order for me to hire you as a coder. If you go to school for medical billing, most schools have a test or an exam for you to do as far as certification. They might have NHA or NRCCS or one of the smaller certifications, but you will need one or two. For you to become a certified coder at the mastery level, you must use a HEMA or CPC. NHA, NHA, NARCCA will not get you there. So the purpose of me giving you the courses on YouTube is to get you to mastery level and keep you interested in the course. I'm not against anybody going to school for medical billing and coding. I want you to continue going to school for medical billing and coding because you are sitting in the classroom, you're still getting the one-on-one, and you're still getting what you need. It's when you complete that is when you need that strong coding assistance. You need that strong coding advisement. You need those tests. You need those exams. You will not pass the CPC with guessing or thinking you may pass. When you go into the CPC, you must be confident. You can't say I don't think I'm gonna pass. I may not make it. Oh, okay, you're dead. Y'all know I'm gonna throw y'all out. Okay. Being that my arm is broke and I had a bad accident. Y'all know I'm done over my truck right now. But I'm feeling good enough today to slide on in here. Okay. Because some of y'all are just withering off, you know. I want y'all to watch the videos. I don't care if you call it YouTube University, YouTube Education, YouTube, whatever. You have to take what you have and run with it. There's so many things on YouTube that you can use to get you to go places. Do not sleep on it. Everything on YouTube that you can search for will help you in your studies, whether you're paying $20,000 or $27,000. I still can't hire you if you don't have a certification. But I can hire you based on the fact that you're going to have experience. Okay. You don't have to have your CPC when I hire. I give you 90 days to get it. But I want you to feel like you have the most confidence in the world when you go in there and taking your exam. Okay? That's how I want you to feel. Hey, Terry, how you doing? The medical billing is in the playlist. It's going to say free coding class. So in the free coding class, you see how I'm doing this class? It will go by date. So the first class in that playlist is your medical billing class. And there's also those free books in there on that medical billing class, okay, in that playlist, okay? You can go to any medical billing school. They give you a little bit more. They give you stuff that accreditation they have to give you. But your basics of what I need you to do is geared towards you getting your CPC and passing your certification. Sapphire Academy has a multitude of tests. And being that, of course, I'm out of commission, I have been working on exams diligently. You guys would not believe what I have discovered and came up with. Because I'm out of commission, I feel a little better today. So that's why I'm jumping in. Because I don't want y'all to get lost. Don't feel like y'all can't do the billing. Don't feel like you can't do the coding. These classes are to help you along. Those free books that I put in there, every single book that you need for Sapphire Academy, I already put in those links for you guys to use. It's enough to get you to that halfway point. So I don't want y'all to fall off. Okay. Even if you're in a medical billing and coding school, don't sleep on the medical billing and coding school. You still can go to a medical billing and coding school. There's two different things in a medical billing school. You can get the degree, AAS, or you can get the certification. You still gonna have to go that extra step to pass your certification for coding. They will give you certification for billing, for coding, for the program that you have taken. They will not certify you as a coder. You must practice that on your own. So, y'all know I'm out of commission, but I don't want y'all to get lost because I haven't been on. I've been posting little things, okay? And you guys are watching the videos, but I don't want you guys to get, I'm talking to you guys on YouTube and some of you who are in Sapphire Academy. Don't get lost. And YouTube, you also have my email for the coordinator. Corinne will answer. If there's something that she can't answer, she's gonna send it to me anyway, and I'm gonna end up responding back. If you guys want to go to the website and ask a question, I'm gonna respond to you from there because they're gonna send it to me if it's something that they can't answer. They're gonna send it to me anyway. So when I come on, I'm going to say, this is Miss Lambert. You're talking to Miss Lambert live. So when you go to my website, that's when you want to text, you're going to be texting me because they're not going to answer anything educational. Okay. I'm feeling a little better today, so we can kind of chit chat for a minute on here. And one of the videos that I did before this, Terry, that also shows you how you're going to get those classes because we're already done with the medical billing and medical terminology. The coding class are halted at the musculoskeletal system because the books that you have go up to musculoskeletal system. The more in-depth is in the Sapphire Academy, which some people can get in, some people can't get in, some people don't want the Sapphire Academy. They just want the material and learn. Okay, that's what the $99 is for. Get the material, take it, learn it, get to Miss Lambert when you need me. So I don't want you guys to give up on your test. Okay, I don't care if you failed. So those of you who are hanging out with us on YouTube, if you failed your test, don't give up. Okay, you can take. Did you hear about that girl took the attorney test 6 times and she finally passed it? Well, she set her goal. I don't care how many times you take any exam, just keep taking it till you pass. Okay, this is for people who don't have the information that's in the academy that we're kind of working on. Okay, but what I want you guys to make sure you do is get into that playlist. Okay, because the playlist in the YouTube class, we don't have to hold your hand. I want you to be able to get in there and look at whatever you want to look at. This is for people who are not in the Sapphire Academy. Okay. Even if you've decided to go to a medical billing and coding school, you can still look at whatever is in this program that's going to help you. If you go to a medical billing and coding school and you go, Miss Lambert, I can't even answer a question. Okay, so that's where I come in at. So you guys know I'm going to be going back to the university in June. And I chose to go back to the university because of the students, because the students need what I'm about to give them. And I want to make sure, I want to challenge my own self to see if I can get these students to pass what I want them to pass. If you can pass my exam of 225 questions, then you will pass. I don't know where that thing is I developed. I developed this from, I know it's upside down, yesterday. That's a test of 225 questions that I developed. Okay. Office procedures, law, ethics, insurance, coding ethics, coding, anatomy and physiology, abbreviations, terminology, federal government, Medicaid, HMO, PPO, coding long cases and short cases. Why did you develop this test, Ms. Lambert? I wanted to develop something like a booklet because the more you test, the better you get. The more you test, the less non-confidence you have going into an exam. The CPC ain't no joke. Now, you talking about the NRCCS and the NHA and even the CCA, I don't even think the CCA is that challenging. But when you're popping up in the CPC, you're going to have a couple issues. That's why I need y'all to practice over and over. So those of you who are not in the Sapphire Academy, get the CPC guide. Okay, get the CPC guide. The rationales are in the back of the CPC guide. If you miss something, you have to read the rationale so you can click. And the next time you get it, you're going to know why that answer is that. The more, remember I told you about medical terminology, the more medical terminology you can decipher, the better. Because when you get those long cases on CPC, you have to skim and get it. You're going to have to be Dr. Savvy. So, when you're talking about YouTube, I want you to punch it in. If you're on YouTube and you're in cardiology and you just, why do Miss Lambert think I know anything about cardiology? Miss Lambert wants you to research SEO, search engine, or she wants you to look on YouTube because she wants you to start getting savvy with those services. The only way that you are going to feel confident in any test is to practice crazy. So that's what I want you to do. So I'm talking to you too, Sapphire. So this video is going to be loaded up in the Sapphire as soon as I finish. Okay. In the bookstore, in the Black Diamond bookstore, there are books in there that will get you started. You can do billing and coding, Q&A. Somebody asked me, and I don't know who bought it today, but thank you so much for buying the billing and coding Q&A book. I made that book so that people can understand what billing and coding is. And get the ebook, y'all. I think it's like $19 or something in there. What is HMO? What is PPO? Why do we need to do coding? What benefit is coding? Who does the billing? What is billing about? Does that have Medicaid? Is that what they're talking about? Blue Cross Blue Shield? That's what that book is about. That book is for people who want to learn how to do billing and or coding, and they don't have a clue what it is. So to get that book on ebook, go to my website and then go to the bookstore so you can get that book. It's ebook. I'm going to send it to you right away. Normally, when somebody comes in my bookstore, I'm going to send you a thank you email right off the back, and then I'm going to give you a code to download that book. And that is one of the most things that you're going to need if you don't know anything about medical billing and coding. Even if you just want to test the water, $20 for the book ain't going to be a loss to you. Even if you decide that you want to do Sapphire Academy does not hold your hand. You all know that. I put things in Sapphire Academy to make sure that you're on a study level, to make sure that when you get ready to take your test, you're comfortable. I give you tests. There's essays you have to do. The Academy is being revamped. Everything in the Academy, I'm flipping over to a new AI stat because I wanted a new profile on it. So in those stats, I made sure that I put enough of exams in there for you to take so that you can start feeling confident about the coding. So you guys remember, you have the CPT book here, your HCPCS here, and you have your other ICD-10 here. On your CPC, remember, that's the basis of this program, is to make sure you're good to go on your CPC. You have to be comfortable when you go in there. I got this. They ain't got nothing on me. I got this. That's how I want y'all to be me walk in there. Okay? I don't know what that was. It's not, somebody's knocking at the door. It's not going to be something that is going to be a challenge for you. Okay? I want you guys to make sure that you're able to do it. I hear somebody at the door. I got to break real quick. Don't move. I'm going to be right back. I don't know what it is, but I got to get this. Okay, guys, I'm back now. Yeah, I definitely had to get there. I couldn't miss that because at night, forget about it. But I'm feeling good enough now to do okay. And I haven't told y'all what happened. Somebody hit my truck. Okay, he's a military guy. He hit me head on, so that's why I have not done any videos. But I have been posting other stuff. Okay, but I'm feeling a little bit okay, and they changed my cash today. I know my arm is broke, and you know, I was already devastated about my truck. Y'all know I just got my truck last year, brand new. So I'm still recovering for the fact that my truck is totaled. But let's get back to the class. This class, I want to make sure it helps you guys to pass your exam. I also want you to learn the medical billing. This is how you learn medical billing. You read. You read. If this is my podium and this is my lecture, you are my students to take in what I am telling you, just as if I was in a classroom. You have your medical billing. I gave y'all a link for that book. Even this is for y'all who are in medical coding school too. Okay? Because I want y'all to learn this too. I don't care what school you go to. There's a couple of different programs in medical billing when you go to school for it. There's like I said, there's a certification billing coding program, and then there's a degree program. In the degree program, you get the same thing that you get in the coding program. Okay. The only difference is they're adding RCM. RCM is where they start teaching you more about the revenue cycle, what goes on in revenue cycle management. Revenue cycle management is your 1 to 10 from the front to the back. I'm trying to put this away where you guys can get what I'm saying. So when you walk into the doctor's office and the first thing you do is you sign in, you see the girl in the front. She's the first point of access. She's 1, right? So when you're getting registered, 2, she checked you in. She's registering you. The nurse is checking you. The doctor's turn. He got to fill his notes. The biller is sending the claim to the coder. The coder's putting the codes in. She's dropping the codes. It's coming all the way back around to 9. The clearinghouse is checking it. Boom. The supervisor checking it before it flips out the door. That's pretty much your 10 cycles. And in that 10 cycle is revenue cycle management as a whole. You see what I'm saying? So coding and billing and financing and all of that is considered revenue cycle. So that's the difference between what you get in a degree program. No, you still don't get no certification in degree program. You have to take that. Okay. Now, some schools have tests, some of them don't. You have to take that test on your own recognizance. You know what I'm saying? You have to take it. When they have other schools that's like proprietary schools and certification schools, they give you an opportunity to take one of the smaller exams because that's what they're giving you. They're not giving you that whole thing that you need to know. I wish that they would implement the CPC guide in schools, period. When I worked at the school, they had the NHA. Okay, I didn't say NHA. Y'all know I gave y'all a class on that because some of my girls wanted to take that one just because for certification's sake. But the other one is a little bit stronger. But I would recommend, if you're already in school, yes, go ahead and take the NRC at CCS. Go ahead and take the NHA. It would give you a heads up on what you get ready to get yourself into. Take it just to see if you can pass. If some of y'all in the Sapphire Academy, I have a true exam. It is a true exam of CPC. It's a true pre-exam of NHA. NRCC is 200 questions. You have to pass at least 180 on that. Even I don't care if it is a coding specialist. That test is wicked. You still have to pass it. The main things on that test to me is medical billing. That's a lot of the main thing that's on that test because their coding. Terry, let me know if you found that their coding is open and close. So you guys know what I mean when I say open and close. So I say open and close. You have a question that's 2 sentences and then 1 ABC on a case. If you have a case that's yay long, that's a long case. So anything that's open and closed and you can answer it, boom, and get out of there, you're done. So this the CPC is 100 questions. So you guys probably got about 2 minutes now instead of 2.5. The NRCC, you talking about 200 questions. They only give you about 30 seconds to answer, one question. So you have to move, boom, boom, boom. You have to move. So all the questions are short answers. So I don't think it's a big deal, and that's, some of you who are in the school. So some of you who are out there that are in a medical billing school, let me know which one of those exams you take. Only some of them I do know of, the more smaller ones, but, let me know what they're offering at your college. Let's see. AHEMA is one of the bigger ones for the hospital ones, and CPC, AAPC is more on the physician side, but they do have other tests. But, again, the purpose of the online YouTube university, I love to call it YouTube University, classes is to help you along whether you are in school or out of school. Okay. You don't have access to Sapphire Academy, but you have access to those playlists. You can skip to those playlists to anyone you want. Let me look in here and see what Miss Lambert talking about. She always talking about this doggone playlist. Y'all know always talk about the playlist. If you want to skip medical billing, go on and take a look at medical terminology. Y'all know I go through page by page. When I do that class that y'all see that thumbnail up there about that revenue, what is it, radiology? It's going to be a skit. I can't do a whole radiology class on YouTube. I have to save that for my own school. What I do on YouTube is I'm put you guys in the right place. So when you say YouTube University or YouTube classes or YouTube courses, we can't give you, there's no program anywhere on YouTube I can't do my whole course here, but I can put you in the right place. And if you choose to do Sapphire Academy, I don't have any more grants for the bigger program, but there's a smaller program on there. I'm still going to give you what you need. You're basically paying for tests, exams. You're paying for your language and medicine book. You're paying for your guidance. And that is only a $99 trip. And you're only going to pay $25 down for it. I forgot I had, I think I have two of those things. You pay $25. You pay $25 down. And the course is $99. And it's really like the program where of course you can start class. We start class anytime here. Every day we start class here. So you guys just remember, even if you go in, and y'all know sometimes I get carried away. I give y'all too much. Because since I had the accident, I've been sitting here working, y'all should see this test I'm gonna give y'all. And it's not to scare y'all, it's to get y'all ready. Is to get because when you get your license, that's what I'm gearing you for you to get your coding license. It's not a certification. You can't be hired as a coder even if you go to medical billing and coding school. Okay, you have to be a licensed coder. Okay, even when I go back, y'all know I'm going back to the university, right? And y'all know the first thing I'm gonna say, good. I want you to get in there, but I want you to go higher. I want you to do more. I don't want you to graduate my class with a coding specialist certification. I want you to graduate my class as a licensed master coder. That's what I'm showing you right here. What you guys see in the playlist. Marielle, yeah, I want you to go on my website, hit that $99 thing. And then you're only going to pay $25 anyway. I think y'all going to pay like $25 every 3 months or something like that. And then that gives you access to everything. Some people have trouble getting into the portal. You have to have your own Microsoft account in order for you to get in my portal. But we work it out. I'll give you an email so you can get in there. If you have trouble getting in there, I'm going to email you what you need anyway. Or you're going to get an automatic download from the bookstore. I have tests in there that you need. There's a free language of medicine book in there. That book costs $100 and something. That book I also have for $45 because it's in an ebook form. So that's why I try to make it good for you guys. The gist of me doing the Sapphire Academy is so that you guys don't have to pay a lot of money to learn a certain skill. Okay. To learn any skill, you have to train yourself. If you get up in the morning and you go to school, the teachers have to go by a crosswalk. When a teacher comes to school, she can only pray that her students got her message. I can't talk for other teachers, but as a teacher myself, I can just visualize what other teachers are feeling because they feel the same way that I do. If we get up in the morning and we go to school, the most thing that we pray for before we even open the door is I hope they get the message that I'm giving them. That's how I am. I hope all of my students get the message that I'm giving them. When I go back to work in June and I see my students with their uniforms on, I see my students with their books, I know they're ready to go. But when they see that instructor that's really concerned and cares about what they're doing, I know they're gonna buck. You should hear them. They be like, I can't wait till Miss Lambert come back. I can't wait till Miss Lambert come back. And I'm going, y'all, none of y'all better not go nowhere until I come back. You understand? And that's the same way YouTube is. Now I might be out of commission. Y'all know I gotta show my arm. Because I don't want y'all to think I forgot about y'all on YouTube. Okay. You don't see any new videos because I've been out of commission. And today is the first day that my chests have not been banging. I still have well, I don't know what the patches that they give me. Went right into the steering wheel. I know my airbags didn't deploy. I never, no. The guy that hit me, bang, all his airbags came out. I don't understand it. My truck airbags, my truck is brand new. I just got it last year. Brand new, 2025. My airbags did not deploy. My arm, I knew my arm was broke I thought my whole body getting ready to fall, but my arm was like bent. And y'all know I was screaming. And that's why I knew my arm was broke. The steering wheel, I ran right into the steering wheel because my seatbelt, I don't know what happened to it. It stretched and I went right to the front. I couldn't believe it. And my airbag didn't deploy. So they thought I had a crack in my sternum or I had so and so because the pain was crazy. And thank God I don't. It's just kind of internal, and I feel a little better now that I was good to go to do a video with you guys. But don't disappear. Go into that playlist and do what you got to do. I'm getting better. I'm getting better every day. I'm getting. I'll forget about that night. That was the guy at the door with the with the make me feel better stuff. But anyway, y'all know I go on and on. Do not give up. Okay. So that's why I say, as much as y'all hear me say, I don't want y'all to get no student loan. I don't want y'all to get a student loan for something y'all don't have to do. You don't need to get a student loan to be a licensed coder. Okay. I didn't need a student loan. You don't need a student loan. I didn't need a student loan to be a licensed insurance person. I've studied and I passed the test for the state. So that's how I want y'all to think. Even if you're in a college, okay, you still have to study for that exam. That's what's in the Sapphire Academy. When you go in there, you can go, you scroll down, it says CPTT, you can do that one, and it's only $25. You can pay $25 every whatever day. Okay. And that is going to help you at least get you started. One. Two, you talk to me live. I want you guys to talk to me live. I don't care what school you're in. If you're in school for revenue cycle management, if you're in school for just coding, if you're in school for just billing, you can still talk to Miss Lambert about something. Most instructors are easy to talk to. Some of them are easy to talk to, but some of them are not. Some of them might be a little bit intimidating, but trust me, if she's teaching you, that is her passion. Break her down. Go approach her. Tell her what you're trying to ask her. You gotta be like my grandson. If he don't understand something, he's not moving nowhere. What grandma? What's she talking about? She had called me at lunchtime in a minute. Grandma teaching and talking. I told her I don't understand what she said. I want y'all to be the same way. When you see your teacher up there and you see her going on and she quit, you know why she quit? Because she masters what she do. because sometimes I have to catch my own self doing that. But as an instructor, when you master what you do, you go on, you go on. But you as the student, stop. I don't know what you're talking about. Ms. Lambert, I can't find it. I don't know what you're talking about. I will be in this for Sapphire Academy. I will be in the portal tonight. I want y'all to be in the portal. All of my students, everybody in the portal tonight, because we're going to go over Sapphire Academy, and I'm going to put those new exams that I have. I'm going to put those in Sapphire Academy. Um, the Sapphire Academy, I'm trying to figure out a way to get y'all those books at 100% free, but they have to be ebooks. Who's that? Nyla. I know you hate ebooks, but that's the only way that I can get y'all the free ebooks and I can put them in the portal. So I'm trying to do that to alleviate y'all from having to buy books. I have the language of medicine book for you guys. That's Sapphire Academy. Y'all know y'all can get that book. And don't forget, I have a grant. I have a grant code to give y'all that book. Okay. So don't sleep on that. Samantha, I gave you that this morning so you can download that. Okay. Make sure that you guys go on my website, sapphirecoding.com. When you go to sapphirecoding.com, scroll down to that portion that says CPT. CPTT. The CPTT is just for the coding. And the CPTT, you will get all of the tests. This is where you learn how to do the ICD-10. You learn how to do the CPT. The coding is not with that. But in your CPC guide, which is your advanced courses, in the beginning of that book, I'm looking around for it on my desk. In the beginning of that book, there is a section called the Business of Medicine. Okay, that is your go-to. That is all you need for your coding. That's why that CPT, when you go on my website and go down and you see that CPTT, that's for that coding class. You're only going to pay $25. You're going to pay you're going to hit the PayPal thing and say, yeah, I want the pay plan for $25. That's where you're going to get all those tests at. Okay. And you have your own folder. I know, Maya, I have tests for you to grade. You got tests in your folder. I'm gonna grade those tests tonight. So anybody, this was Sapphire Academy. Anybody who did a test, I've been out of commission for a minute. I'm grading tests tonight, and I'm putting them back in yours folder. Okay. YouTube, you don't get those, but you do have tests that are in the back of your CPC guide if you have your CPC guide. The Sapphire Academy, they have different tests that they need. This is getting them practice. Medical terminology tests. They have medical billing tests. They have coding tests. They have a test for each one of their sections to do. And most of the new sections that come in, everybody's starting with medical terminology. Why, Ms. Lambert? Because that's the first book that I give you. If you want to start with more, then I don't want you to do the 16-week syllabus or the 16-week schedule. Start with the 20-week. I do have some students that are faster than others, and they do the 9-week fast track. Okay, so if any of you guys feel like you want to do the 9-week fast track, you could always try it. If you feel like, all right, Miss Lambert, I don't want to do that one anymore, no problem. Just let me know. I got to change the schedule. Okay, and the schedule doesn't have dates on it. Why, Miss Lambert? Because I have open enrollment. People start today. People start tomorrow. When you start, that's when you put your date on that. In the StreamYard, it's a little bit difficult for me to show you a lot of those things. So I don't do a lot of that pick-me stuff on the StreamYard. When we in OBS, y'all know I always put stuff up there. But you guys can look at some of the other videos to kind of check that out. But, the gist of it is to make sure that you guys have what you need to study and pass your test and pass your exam. Those free books that I give you guys are good to start you in the beginning. But I'm figuring out how I can give the free books at 100%, but they have to be in Sapphire Academy. I can't give those books for YouTube. So when you guys do join the Sapphire Academy, I'm going to figure out how to put them in there in addition to yours language of medicine book. I think I can give y'all access to my library. Melanie, was it you who's trying to get into the library? Melanie, I'm going to figure out a way how you can get in there, because you did tell me you downloaded the Elsevier. And that what you downloaded is only for instructors. It's not for students. But I'm going to figure out a way that they can give me access for my students in the portal. Now, if I'm in the in-house, The students don't have access to that either. They have to have their own access. But I'm going to see how they can give me the access for the portal, because it's a portal as a whole for one. So if I have one in there, then I'm able to let y'all continue to look at that. I did something one time. I don't know what I did on one time on Zoom where you guys had access to the book. Sean and all, they've all graduated already, but they got their ways. They figured it out. I need to get to them and figure out how did they do that, so y'all can know how to do that. But and at any rate, the playlist is your go-to. I'm talking to YouTube. The playlist is your go-to. What if you don't like medical billing and coding? Go to the playlist and y'all can hear me. What I'm talking about. I show the books in there. And the medical billing in the playlist, I go through that book page by page. I don't miss a page. Medical terminology book, the book was over 800 pages. I ain't miss a page. We hit every page in that book in medical terminology. Medical terminology was so much fun. It was crazy. If you have never taken medical terminology, go through the playlist. When you go on my channel, you hit my playlist. You could say show all, or you can pick what you want to watch. And the way that I have it is in date. It's in there by date. So your first class will be medical terminology, and your last class is coding. So that's how the dates are going. And if you just want to do the coding, you have to do medical terminology with the coding regardless. You'll have to. That's going to come with it. Some of you have bought the medical terminology book, which is fine. And that's like go on my website. You guys can see that, sapphirephysiciancoding.com. So I created the medical terminology book just in case, like say YouTube, you want to do medical terminology, but you don't want to join Sapphire Coding. That's what the book is for. If you do Sapphire Coding, those tests are already in Sapphire Coding. If you're not, you can just buy the medical terminology book, and the tests are already in there. If you go on sapphirecoding.com, you'll see that book in there. It's the orange book. And it has all the tests in there, and it has all the medical terminology in there. Who's that asked me? Kawanda asked me, do you have to join the Sapphire Academy to participate? Yes, you have to join Sapphire Academy to participate. You don't have to be an active student in Sapphire Academy, because I'm not in the portal every day unless you just want to go in and look at stuff. You can just download what you want and study. You don't have to be an active participant. See, sometimes it hurts. You don't have to be an active participant in Sapphire Coding. You can just, register for what you need and study, and also interact with me, because that's really how it is anyway. The classes that we do is what I'm doing on YouTube. Tonight, when I finish with the YouTube class, I'm going into the portal and I'm just doing a certain class where the students can jump in there. They know I'm in there because there'll be a green check up there. So they know that I'm in there in case they have any questions. Now, in this Sapphire portal, they can text me from in there. We can kind of communicate in there the same way how we're communicating right here. So it's pretty much the same thing. So, I just want to make sure that you guys don't get lost in the mist because you don't see me. Okay, or I haven't done a live. Okay, I should be fully 100% in a couple of weeks, because I have stuff here that I want to show you. I can't really lift it up. I'm like hindered a little bit with my cast, but don't sleep on the playlist. Make sure you go into the playlist. Mariella, make sure you go on Sapphire Academy, and you can start class here anytime. So the YouTube classes are open. You go to the playlist. There's a class. How you will do in the playlist. If you're on medical insurance billing and you're on chapter 1, make sure you have the exercise book. I'm talking to YouTube. So YouTube, if you have the medical billing book, right? And then you have the medical insurance workbook. That's your go-to right there, especially for y'all who just want to do medical billing. So look in one of those chats where I got those free books in there. In those free books, you study a chapter, do your exercise. Study a chapter, do your exercise. Depending on which one you have, go ahead and grade your, the answers are in the back of the book. You can go ahead and grade yourself right there. The Sapphire tests are different. They are not like that. The Sapphire tests are tests that I made from the book. I don't see one right here, but you got, I might have put one or two on YouTube so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. But if you guys want to start the YouTube channel and you want to start with medical billing, go to medical billing. When the coding classes are finished here, which is the coding classes here, are basically putting you in the right place. Go to my website and look at the schedule. I posted the true schedule on the website. And that way you can see how I'm doing the classes on YouTube. So radiology is next. I think I put it out for June, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it before that. And the radiology class, what we're going to talk about is what AAPC expects of you in this class. What is AAPC expecting me to pass? What does AAPC expect me to study? In your CPT book, there's a section for you to study. The only way you are going to understand something is if you continue to read it. When you first read something that you've never been introduced to, you're just going to be like, what? You know, the second time you're going to start getting it. And as you're writing down and taking your notes, you will eventually start understanding what you're doing. Because when you get to pathology, that's going to be a whacker right there. Radiology is already a whacker. But the more you read, the more you understand. So this is what I'm expecting you guys to do. I'm talking to Sapphire and YouTube. Radiology is going to be your next class. I'm going to talk about radiology. I'm going to use the step-by-step book to talk about radiology. You guys know the step-by-step book. There's a link. I don't know if I put anything below here, but I'll drop them below here when I finish with this, if not. But they're in all my chests. I always put those free books in there. You could always start with those books, okay? Radiology is not in those books. And that is the reason why I said, let's stop right here and give them time to get their books. Because radiology is moving on. The free books that I gave you, even the CPT book, it only goes up to musculoskeletal system. I don't know what the step-by-step book. Y'all can't see me, but I'm about to take a look at it right now. What's wrong with this? The step-by-step book that you guys have goes up. Here it is. It goes up to the same thing. Okay. And the reason I'm gonna pull it out from right here. The reason I gave everybody those books, right? Which you could actually get the books yourself. Let me go over here. All of those books are a big help because if you don't have your books, this is how you get them. If you start on medical billing, where am I at? So I'm going to my own library right now. So I want to see this one right here. So I'm going to the 2026 one, and it says read, write, and sample. So the 2026 one, I think this is on sale for $80. And I'm just going to go to the end of it so I can see where this book is stopping. All right. And the reason why I want to do that is because they got the workbook in here too. The CPT book, I already know where it stops at. So chapter 4, using ICD-10-CM. The step-by-step book that I gave you, I think it's chapter 4. Let me go back. It's chapter 4. So you're talking about a good amount of reading in this book. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're talking about 4 ICD-10 demonstrate the ability to utilize the alphabetic index, understand the tabular list, understand correct steps in coding. Okay. We've already done this. Okay. Combination codes. What is a late effect? I know I'm about to get a late effect messing with this, right? Laterality, right? Right, left, both, right? Chapter review. So you're talking about, this is good. because this is all the way up to chapter 4. So I'm talking to Sapphire 2 right now. Sapphire, your step-by-step book that you have on a free link goes to both the chapters that I give you. I'm trying to see where's the last page. K74 fibrosis, exercise, multiple coding, ICD-10 official guidelines for coding and reporting. So they're giving you a skyline of that right here. And the other section, you're going to end with acute myocardial infarction, fracture of hip. You're going to end with that, and then you're going to start with your guidelines, which you already have because I gave y'all that on CMS. Anybody can get that. It's free. CMS.gov 2026 ICD-10 guidelines. Okay, so single code reporting. So the good thing is the step-by-step book that I gave y'all for the link goes all the way up to chapter 4. Now, what I want to see is, so you took my ICD-10, CPT, inpatient, unit 2. I'm looking in the step-by-step book on my end on a unit 2. And it's longer, but what you have in the first book is good because you go all the way up to ICD-10. Now, in the Sapphire Academy, the classes are a little bit different. So you do medical billing, medical terminology. I flip medical terminology if y'all don't have a medical billing book. So you do medical terminology prereq, medical terminology, medical billing prereq, ICD-10 and CPT are prereq. Why, Miss Lambert? Because in that ICD-10 and CPT, I'm teaching you how to code. We are showing you, let me see that book again. We're showing you how to address a disease. We're showing you how to break up the provider's notes and code from it. We're showing you descriptions. We're showing you how to dissect a report. Okay, so in those classes that are there, and I don't necessarily have to be showing you word for word. You're going to read the book and it's going to show you word for word. But in the classes, I have to make sure I put you in the right place. When coding an encounter for preoperative evaluation, the reason that the patient is having surgery or procedure performed is the first listed diagnosis. True or false? Yeah, the first listed diagnosis is why the patient came in there. Why is he here? You know what I'm saying? What is he here for? What happened to the patient, right? So if the patient comes in and you know he has to do emergency surgery, the diagnosis is the reason why the patient is having the surgery, right? That's what your prereq course is. That step-by-step book is your go-to. Okay. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to be in the portal. Sapphire, I'm going to be in the portal for all of y'all. I'm going to be in the portal, so make sure y'all come in there. Okay. So because I need to look and see how much of that other book that you guys have. We know for sure that the CPT goes up to musculoskeletal system. Okay. The CPT book is probably the only book that I cannot give you. The other books, I think we can kind of flim around, and I probably can get them to okay me books on that from Elsevier. But for the beginning, I want you guys to use your free links on whatever class you want to start. If you're going to do more than one class, I'm expecting 2 tests. So if that's too much for you, don't do it. Because you have a schedule to stay on. So let's say you start today and you put your date in that you start today. Your schedule starts from there. But you're going to stay on track with your schedule. You see, so if you had something to do today and you missed it, and you coming back in on Wednesday, you can come back in whenever you want to, but you're gonna have to pick up where you left off at. I'm expecting you to catch up what you just did. You see what I'm saying? You're working at your own pace, but I don't want you to get behind. So when me and you do one-on-one, and I said, well, where you're at, then I want to know where you're at. So if you left on chapter 1 and and you did chapter 1 or you did chapter 2, and here it is Wednesday, you okay, I'm ready, I'm finished doing what I'm doing. Now you're on chapter 3. I'm expecting you to go catch up. You see, so let's say I look in your file and I see, okay, so she started on March 10th. So now I'm looking at her schedule, so I can see where she's at. So she started on March 10th. I'm going to the schedule, and I'm working from March 10th up to today. So when I look at her schedule, I go, well, okay, so she's that you do whenever you want to, but up until that date, you should have all of that done. Up until this day, you can do whatever you want to. But that's how you stay on track. If I'm looking at this and I see that you've fallen behind in your own studies, not necessarily everybody's on the same study, I want you to pick it up, because you won't be able to get into the next class unless you finish the prior class. You see, so in the portal, it's the same as here. It's just a little bit more in depth. They get much more, but before you move to medical terminology, you need to finish medical billing. If you started on medical terminology, you need to finish that before you head to billing. Some of y'all are doing both, which is fine. I would do both. Look at the book and get the prereqs out the way. Once you finish your prereqs, then you move to the core courses. The core courses is all of the sections in your book. Every section that you see in your CPT book is what we work on. Okay, that's your advanced classes. All right. Your medicine, only because I'm in medicine right now, I must have been doing something in there. The medicine is one of your longest sections. Okay, longest section is your medicine section. Okay, but you talking about pulmonary, pathology, radiology, cardiology, ophthalmology, nervous system, female, male, genitals, urine, digestive system. Okay, muscle skeleton, cardiovascular. Y'all know that's my favorite. Okay, that's where we headed. Integumentary system. Okay, when you're breaking down all of that, that's your advanced classes in a coding. So in the prereqs, you have to finish 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 prereq classes. Okay, you have to know how to do the coding. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. You have to know how to do the coding, okay, in order for me to put you in an advanced class, which I think you guys can do, okay? There's some that, sometimes you guys get scared and you guys feel like you don't want to get in, or something's wrong. Don't be afraid of any class, okay? Because sometimes when you think you can't do it, you can. You can. If y'all have any questions, make sure you ask me. Okay. I'm kind of hanging out with y'all tonight. It's a gloomy, ugly, yucky day outside, but I want y'all to make sure y'all ask questions. Okay. I'm not sure when I'm going to come on again. It's probably going to be, I'm going to try Saturday morning. I might do tonight. We already on tonight. I'm going to be working right after this, so I'm going into the portal. So don't forget, Mary Ellis, you can start whenever you want to. Cherry, go into the playlist. Medical billing is first in the playlist. Okay, medical billing is first in the playlist. Okay, there's probably about 15 classes and the medical billing in the playlist. Okay. When I start feeling, a little bit more better, I can, it's going to be a couple of weeks before I get this off, but I'm going to figure out another way to see how we can get some of the more work done. Let me see certification. Sometimes I'll be typing fast. Next thing you know, I got an error up there and I got to take it down. Next thing you know, I got to delete the whole thing. Okay, but we ain't doing that tonight. But I want you guys to make sure that you are looking at the playlist. This is for YouTube. Remember, these classes are to help you to pass your CPC. Okay. If you're in a medical building coding school, stay there. Okay. Take advantage of these classes because they're going to help you. Okay. If you want to do the Sapphire Academy, y'all can just go to sapphireacademy.com and just take a look at the website. But in most schools, you have to pass a certification. Okay. Hospitals wants to see your certification. There are some facilities, like I said, with the specialists, your NRA or NRCC is fine, but there are some they want you at the mastery level. It's differences in certain coding. I can't have you at home as a coding specialist, and I'm about to give you $90,000 worth of charges. No, we can't do that. Okay, it's just not doable. I did a video on that versus the specialist, the mastery level, and different type of levels. We did something like that already. But if you pass one certification, trust me, you will be able to pass the other certification. Don't get scared. If you get scared, call Miss Lambert. But she be talking about call Miss Lambert. Okay, and I ain't super expert now. If I don't know something, y'all know I'm gonna find out. Okay, but I want to give you everything that you need to feel confidence in what you're doing. Uh, if you're going to do something, put your mind to it and do it. Put your mind to it and do it. Okay. If you join a school, okay, I don't care what kind of school it is. Don't give up because it's a reason why you joined the school. You have a goal that you want to do, you have a goal that you want to complete. That is the reason why you went to the school. Don't give up. Okay. Education is key. The more you know, the better off you are. So learn as you go. Okay. If you if you go to school and you have a project to do and you need more and more information, you have tons of places to look for information. Online, books, library, Barnes and Nobles, YouTube. I don't know about the rest of them. YouTube will also help you with some things that you need. Well, yeah, I'm saying that's going to be your judgment of what you're going to take, whether something is real or fake or not. That's up to you. But I don't want you to feel like you're in the dark. If you guys who are in school, you can already take exams. I'm telling you right now, the key to feeling comfortable and taking any exam is study. When you get to the point and you doing your study and your practice and you start hitting the answer quick with confidence, then you know you got it. If you have any toasty inkling of, all right, I shouldn't have hesitated with that. If you hesitate, then you don't know what it is. Then okay, so you want to write that down. Let me show you a trick. Go to Excel. When you go to Excel, make a spreadsheet. 1, 2, 3, 1 to 50, whatever the test is, 1 to 50, 1 to 50 to 100, 200, whatever. The answers that you get, I won't say you get wrong, the questions that you feel funky about, and you didn't hit it right off the bat, then you don't know what it is. Then you're scared. So those answers that you feel like that about, those are the ones that I want you to write down. Because that number is the one I want you to go back and get. Okay, I want you to go back and get that number. Okay, that means that you need to study more in that part. That's what that means. Okay, you need to study more in that section. So if you have a question and you're Sapphire, same thing for you. If you guys are in that book, so what you guys are doing in Sapphire, y'all got open book. Okay, y'all got open book. Okay, it ain't no open book when y'all do your coding. Okay, so while y'all are doing medical billing and medical terminology and the prereq coding classes, y'all are using your book, not the coding. That's different. Okay, that's different. Your step-by-step book, you're going to be using all of that. But when you get to your core courses and you're studying for that section, cardiology, the only books that you're going to have is the coding books. The other teaching, learning books you're not going to have. Okay, you're not gonna have y'all only gonna do those tests out of that. So, in the Sapphire Academy, you read a chapter, you do a test. You read a chapter, you do a test. You read a chapter, you do a test. You get your competency at the end. You give me a 70, you move on to your next course. That's how the program is. Um, YouTube is a little bit different. You guys go ahead and look at the playlist and you do your exercises. I mean, for you guys to go in a classroom, it's just that you see me physically. It's going to take more of an effort if you are training on YouTube. If you're looking at it, doesn't have to be my classroom. There's plenty of girls that have wonderful courses on YouTube. Hell, I watch them. You understand? I don't, but I do. I flip flap. Okay. I recommend everybody. If you see somebody and you want to watch their class, might be doing something differently. They do like the finger thing and they write down that. Nothing's wrong with that because they're showing you what they're doing. They're helping you to build your future. Okay. And that's what this is. Everybody has to have a plan in what they're getting ready to do. Billing and coding is going nowhere. Okay. AI cannot do billing and coding. We have to check that explicitly. Okay. The AI can change a paragraph. AI can write an email over. You're the one who's going to feed the AI what they need. Okay. So, don't get scared. Don't get scared of AI. AI might be for different programs. I don't know what that is. Different programs or different, workers. Now, I hear stuff like that all the time. But you ain't hear nobody talking about billing and coding. They was repaying. All right. Now, medical workers is different because that was years ago. And I ain't gonna lie now. There were people who did medical records that was devastated because they done medical records all their lives and pulling those charts. But we don't do that no more. Okay. That's different than the coding. Okay. I'm already an hour in. So this class is actually over. But I want y'all to steadfast and stay focused. Okay. I don't want y'all to feel like you can't do it. I don't want you to feel like online school is any less than any other school. Okay. Online school, you're going to work hard. If YouTube has classes, you're going to work harder because there are some people that are more challenged to work by themselves. Some people, yeah, you do have to hold their hand and tell them word for word, like we did kindergarten. You understand? And some people can just get it. Some people you got to turn the YouTube on. Okay, she gonna do all the way up to chapter 1 through 5 just by looking at 5 classes that I did, and she about to get through all 5 of them and exercises. And then you have those that go, "Oh, I'm done. I need somebody to hold my hand. I gotta sit in the classroom with teacher right in front of me." And people teach different. You have different students with different things. I've never actually met a student like that. I'm pretty sure they're out there because a lot of people say, I have a girlfriend. She used to say, online school is not real school. Online school is not real school. Oh, her girlfriend, she went to a real school. What the heck makes her real school more or less than school online? Schools online, you more independent. Schools online, you testing your own stuff to see if you pay attention. And then a few years later, then she all of a sudden was going to school online. I understand that. I don't know if it was something to make everybody feel bad or she's better than somebody, but I just didn't understand it. And then okay, so you taking it now it's a real school. I understand that. Y'all know I don't do the put down on nobody. I don't do the disrespect on nobody. I don't care what kind of school you're going to. If you're learning and you're reading, that's the only way. There's nothing fantastic about sitting in a classroom or being online. It is the same. You learn more online because you are independent and by yourself. That's why they make you do so many paragraphs. They make you do so many summaries because you are working alone. You're working by yourself. When you're in a classroom, we hand to hand. You need to give me that work right now. I need to see what you're doing. Okay. So don't feel like, if somebody starts, trying to put you down or trying to make you feel like one thing is better than another thing, just let them know. I bet we doing the same thing and I might be doing a little bit more because we as teachers are trusting you by yourself to study and hand in what you need to hand in. So when you're doing school online versus you're doing school in class, you're still learning the same thing. You're just paying more attention in a classroom because you're in front of a teacher. So sometimes, like what's the guy he had to teach? He said he can't do online learning, and they had to open a special class for him. What's his name, y'all? Shaq. Remember Shaq went to college for something, or he maybe went to class or something. He didn't want to do it online, and they said they couldn't do it online because they didn't have enough of students to do it online, and then he had to pay. I thought it was a little bit ridiculous, but I think you can get used to doing classes online. I mean, I can't understand why Shaq couldn't just do those classes online, but you have some people like that are not online students. They're not online students. You're not going to find any class on YouTube where a business or an academy is going to give you every single thing at 100% on a YouTube. That'd be redundant, and you ain't getting no monetized money. We don't do that. Okay, y'all want to learn how to do Sapphire coding. Y'all want to know how to do billing coding. Y'all want a little bit more attention. Y'all want a little bit more so you got to join Sapphire Academy, and yes, you have to pay for that. Okay. So I'm already 105 in. So I'm going to shut this down. And if anybody wants to ask a question about the Sapphire Academy, let me know. Okay, go on the website, check it out. Go over there. If you do the full program, the full program is $489. Okay, you're only going to pay $99 down. Okay, so check it out and look at it and see if that's something that y'all want to do. But those of you who are on YouTube, make sure you look at the playlist. My arm is starting to tingle now, and I'm pretty sure I don't know, I've been bumping and moving around too much. But I'm glad that I came in and I was able to do this because I don't want y'all to think I'm AWOL. Okay. I'm gonna come back in. I don't know. I'm going to be in a portal tonight. I'm trying to work on that radiology class. I got to see how far we're going to go with that because I'm thinking we're going to do 2 classes. And those classes are merely going to consist of me putting you in the right place. Okay. Just telling you what you have to study. I'm not going to do a long class. I'm not going to do word for word class. You guys are now going to do that. Okay. So your next class will be an informational class. And I don't know what the next class is after radiology. I gotta look on the schedule and see. But y'all just stick with me, all right? And make sure you use what you need on YouTube. Okay. So I will see you guys next time. Remember the next class is radiology, and whatever after that is going to be an introductory level class, and it's just going to be putting you guys in the right place. Okay. Do the Sapphire Academy where I can give you the test. I mean, if you go to AAPC, you're talking about one big test is like $25. I give you like 10 or 12 tests. I don't know what's in there. I give you a lot more than 2. The tests come with the program. So, the test is for me to get you skilled up. So don't worry about whether you fail or whether you pass. The gist of it is, do you know how to code? Okay. Do you know how to code? All right. Okay. So we're out of here. I'm going to see you guys again. No, I'm not giving y'all a date. I got a thumbnail out there. It's for May, but I'm going to see y'all before that. Okay.